it's been a week. It's been about a week since apparently the Firesticks are going to block all dodgy streaming apps, Firestick apps. You won't be able to stream on them anymore. You should be chucking them in the bin. Police will be knocking on your door. All of this came out about a week ago. So it was from today on all these news articles, these so-called news articles, that from today you will no longer be able to stream. And guess what? You still can. So we're going to take a look at the facts. And to be honest, I'm going to stick with what I've said straight from the off. There's nothing to worry about. And I want to make sure we can keep that focus going forward and to try and stop everybody being scared about their devices they're using and the misconceptions and confusion which is going around about their devices. Because a lot of people think that you won't be able to stream anything. A lot of people are changing devices, which I get why. And there'll be a lot of people out there who are very confused. So the one thing I'm going to ask you guys to do if you can is make sure you hit that follow button so I can keep you up to date. Share this video on your socials and to anybody or in any news articles saying that you can't stream, and I will try and help people who are going to get worried about it, because the more people we can tell, and we can try and fight the good fight. So, what are we talking about today? The big issues we've got so far, what have we seen? Apparently, police are knocking on doors and arresting people for Firesticks. Firstly, the fact, not true, myth busting, shall we call it, Firestick busting. So, that happened, they knocked on the door, arrested a couple of people who sold Firesticks, which were dodgy. The guys had warnings. They ignored the warning, and he got arrested, and I believe he got a bit of jail term. First one. Next up, apparently Amazon have stated they will try and shut down illegal streaming apps and Firesticks. Well, this came initially according to The Sun, okay? And then it came out on a couple of other websites, but I still can't find any word directly from Amazon regarding this, and I also reached out to Amazon on regards to this, and they have not come back to me. But that doesn't mean they didn't say it. Apparently they said it to the likes of Ace and Fact, which are obviously all the companies trying to obviously stop piracy. But of course they're going to say it. They've been saying the same thing for years. There's no way they can turn around and say they're condoning piracy on your streaming apps, is it? They can't say they're condoning it. They can't say they're doing nothing about illegal piracy on their device. Imagine if they came out and said that. Yes, we know what people use our Firesticks for, and we're happy about it, and we're going to do nothing about it. They've been saying the same thing for the last 5 years. Sort of every October, November time before Christmas, it comes out. They don't go heavy on it themselves. They could, if they wanted to stop it, it's very easy. They could remove the developer options. They could remove the developer options apart from for registered developers. They could remove a couple of apps that people are using to install apps with. It's not rocket science, but they don't do any of that. They just said they're going to block a couple of apps, and the apps they are blocking are the ones which could be harmful to them and to the end user. So there's been a couple of versions of apps which are showing up and flagged in the forms of malware in them, possible Trojans, and these are being removed. They haven't removed apps which people are watching IPTV through. And if one thing you need to watch out for, there's a few companies, and I can guarantee it happened a few years back. What will happen is IPTV companies will disappear, a couple of them, and they will say, oh no, we've been shut down. So you maybe paid for a year, and you might have got about 2 months worth of service. Then they're suddenly shut down. But they haven't, they just pretend they have been shut down. They've made a load of money, they're not providing anything, and you can't do anything about it, because who are you going to go to about it? You can't exactly go to the police, you can't exactly go to Amazon, so they make their money. And it happened a few years back, and loads of companies pretended they got raided, pretended they got shut down, and then they keep the money. You get about a month's service when you've paid for a year, they reopen under a new name, resell what they would have resold to you. Got to watch out for this. This is why you've got to be very careful on how, if you do go down that third-party route, there's scammers out there. There's scammers everywhere, you know that on the internet. Obviously here, we don't condone third-party piracy or illegal streaming. We're here about the official options and how to keep streaming for free, officially, obviously. And that's what we do here. But the apps get removed, apps don't get removed, everything like that. But I would not worry. If there was something to worry about, we would tell you. And that's why I tell you to hit follow. You can go through all my videos, and over the last 8 years, and even when these come around every year, I always tell you, don't worry, there's nothing to worry about. Last thing you want to be doing, people say, get rid of your Firestick, they're a load of rubbish. They're not, they're great devices. Easy user interface, really easy to use. And the last thing you want to do is go spending out more money on a device which could be sold or could be blocked, anything. you know, there was a news article out 2 months ago how Android TV will be blocking streaming apps. Google TV will be blocking streaming apps. They have to say it when questioned. They can't say they're not going to. Android have been doing this for ages with Play Protect. The good thing is with Play Protect is you can turn it off or you can just bypass it. But that is why certain apps disappear sometimes on your Android phone or your Android box as well. They've all been doing it and it's no different here. Finally, as I'm leaving, if you are worried about anything, do make sure you've got your VPN on your device and you do have one turned on just for your privacy. We mentioned that at the end of this video because people have been a bit annoyed at me mentioning it at the beginning recently, so let's chuck it at the end. Perfect. Hopefully that made things a little bit simpler for you. Remember what I said about sharing it to everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.